Today I am going to plan my Q4 and I'm going to take you along for the ride. So carry on watching if that's of interest to you. And if it's not, it's nice seeing you for a second or two there. And for the rest of you, hello. We're going into September, which could be the busiest quarter of the year for me. I mean, who knows? This year has surprised the hell out of me so far. And I do get a little bit giddy at this time because I do like my planning. It just helps me see things clearer. And if I've gone off track ever so slightly over the course of a quarter, this helps me bring it back. These are planners that I actually created for myself for this very purpose. I do have them in the shop, don't worry, I'm not promoting them. My niche is actually hand embroidery. Quarterly planners have nothing to do with hand embroidery, so whether or not they'll stay in the shop, I'm not sure. But anyway, essentially, they're for me, and they're very self-indulgent, which is why they are only in the colours that I like and with my beech tree leaf logo on there. Anyway, because this is technically a coffee and craft chat, I do have to start by showing you my whips and makes for the month. But don't worry, this will take seconds because this is it. I haven't made much of anything for myself over the last few months, and I think it's starting to show because I'm feeling a little bit, not burnt out, that's probably a bit too extreme a term. I'm starting to feel the tendrils of burnout creeping in for sure. It's one of the reasons why this video is going to be the way it is. Usually, today is a Saturday, and usually by now I've got my video for the week filmed, edited, ready to go. I may or may not have a thumbnail ready, but I'm usually on, that's where I'm usually at by the weekend. And here I am filming, and I still have to edit and do the thumbnail, but I digress. It's been busy, it's been hectic, and I'm starting to feel the effects. Usually making something for myself does usually help with that. Let's bring it down a little bit. There we go. Still can't see me. Right, you know what? I'm going to spin you around. I can't even be bothered to stop filming and start again, so I'm just going to spin you around like that. I'm wearing my wireless mic today, so I can do this. There we go. Right. Have to get quite far back to get it all in. Anyway, essentially, this is one side of the cardigan. Then I'll be making another 2-row thingy for this side. There'll be another row down the back, which will connect the two, and then I can start on the sleeves. The idea was to get this cardigan ready by the autumn. It is now autumn, and it is not ready. Right, spin you around again. But yes, I think it's fair to say that if I crack on with it, I'll get it done in time for winter. But I'm quite happy. It's very bright. It started off a lot brighter. If you watch these coffee and craft videos regularly, you'll know that it started life as a much brighter thing, and I toned it down somewhat, and I love it now. I love it now. It's kind of still very bright, still very colourful, but also just toned down enough so that I won't feel like a complete clown when I wear it. Will I have the guts to wear this when I am outside in public? Probably not, but we'll see. My cat is on the window. Can you spin you around? The reason why I'm not impressed with that is because I literally just let him out after he started whining at me to do so, and now he wants to come back in. I think not. Toad. So this is my make and my whip for September. So with that in mind, let's crack on with the monthly planning, shall we? And I will show you this. This here is my spring themed planner, and I got myself. I've lost my new planner. This is the wrong tube. Okay, fine. This is the new tube. Don't worry, I've taken off my address. I'm not stupid. Well, for anybody who's wondering, I get these printed online by a company called A1 Printing or A1 Posters. Not sponsored, not affiliated, just like them. They're very good at what they do. But that's only in the UK, by the way. If you're not in the UK, I don't think they ship internationally, and I'm sure you have somewhere a little bit closer to home. Anyway, it looks exactly the same as the one in the background. I don't want to bend it. The greens are more muted. Also, unlike the ones in the shop, this one I tweaked and it only had 2 goals on there for the quarter. I'm setting myself 3 goals for the quarter this time around. Eep. It's so pretty. I love it when it looks like this. It's all clean and ready for me to completely mess it up. Right, so before we fill in the new one, which I've just put my sticky fingers over, let's review my goals for last quarter, shall we? I set myself an Etsy goal and a YouTube goal, and my Etsy goal was to launch the rest of the pivot items. As soon as I mentioned the word pivot, I suddenly got an eye twitch. The pivot, okay. Started off this year and I started pivoting my items so that they would bring in more sales. And it was going really, really well up until it wasn't. And that was when the cost of living crisis here in the UK started to be, you could see it on the horizon. It was like, oh no. And the rest of that stuff. And what that did was that essentially knocked me on my bum and I had to start all over again. But that was fine. It wasn't fine, but it was fine. I managed to pick myself up again and dust myself off, and I started to pivot my original pivot, which I'm not going to lie, it wasn't much fun. It was very intense, a lot of work in a short space of time, but it's working. While the cost of living crisis has been something that has been on the horizon very much so far this year, it's now here. I don't believe it. He's just jumped up on this window. Which is funny because he doesn't usually do that. Hi. No, he's jumped down. For God's sake, animal, would you make up your mind? Other window. Right, bear with me. I've got to go and let this bloody cat in. No, you do not get to bother me without getting bothered back. This is the toad. That cat has serious main character syndrome. Where was I? I was rambling about something. The pivot? Okay, yeah, I was pivoting. It was working. I still haven't finished though, hence that. So I don't think I've mentioned this before, but my plan for my own shop, the idea is to have 2 parts to it. I'm going to have the things that I make, which is going to be sort of things like finished hoops and project bags, which I don't have any to hand at the moment because I have sold out, and I haven't made any more because I'm rubbish, but we'll ignore that. That's going to be the sort of like the finished items stuff, and they're going to be the higher priced items. And then I'm going to have sort of like the mid-range and the lower range items, which are going to be more supplies based, which are going to be things like kits and stick and stitch patches and PDF downloads of embroidery patterns, not these. That's the plan. However, I currently do not have any of the project bags made in stock at all, or kits, and they are my higher priced items on both sides of that plan. That was my plan, to get those made and listed in the shop. Have I done it? Have I heck? I did share these, I think in the last Coffee and Craft, but these are my project bags. They're still in painted form. I haven't even finished hand painting some of these. Some of these need more stuff doing to them, let alone the embroidery and the sewing up and stuff. Will they get done before Christmas? I'd like to say yes, but who knows? And what was the other thing? Kits. Oh, wait. Ow. I've started buying supplies. But again, that's it. So yeah, a big fat fail there. And then what was my YouTube one? Merge shop and channel. Now that actually I did a better job on. At the start of Q3, I hadn't got any links to my shop on this channel, simply because loads of people would go over to see the shop, which is fair enough. You want to check out that I am actually an Etsy seller for a start, especially if I'm rocking up here every week talking about it. But they never converted into sales. And so I found it tough to look at my stats and get an idea of what was working and what wasn't. So I didn't see the point in advertising the shop to people who weren't looking to buy. Do you see what I mean? And then I thought, if I can pivot the items to something that is more of a crossover with my audience here, then it would make sense. So yeah, that worked. But a big part of that was I was going to start introducing stitch along videos to this channel. I tested it out. Now, to be fair, I only tested with one. It tanked. And I don't just mean it kind of did okay and then stalled. I mean, it was like jumping off a cliff. But those who did watch it really enjoyed it. And also, because I'm a selfish little what's it, I loved making it. So I thought, well, I'm going to break my channel if I try and shoehorn this content into this channel. But if I make another channel, I can do it anyway. Basically, I'm just looking for excuses to do what I want to do, and I want to make stitch along videos. So I've created another channel, and I was hoping that I would have content ready on it so that when I rocked up today, I could say, here's the channel, go follow if stitch alongs are your jam. Unfortunately, there's nothing there yet. I mean, I will put the link to the new channel in the description, but again, there's nothing there yet. I've stitched up a stitch sampler. This is going to be a PDF pattern that's going to be available in the shop, and then the video is going to be on the other channel, which is Beech Tree Handmade, FYI. But yes, I'm on it. I haven't, done it, but I'm on it. So instead of adding new stitch along videos to this channel, I ended up creating a new channel so that I can do it there, and I managed all of that. So basically, in a nutshell, I managed one goal and I completely failed at the other. We'll move on now. Which brings us, to quarter 4. I do like a shiny new quarter. I have a video where I show how I use this, and it's essentially, you get it again, I may as well show you. Where are these little boxes? There you go. I put the week in there, so it would be like a week commencing the 1st to the 7th, or that sort of thing. And then obviously each goal box has a different colour, and then a corresponding box under the week. So if goal 1 was to eat a chocolate cake and goal 2 was to eat a biscuit, I would put buy a chocolate cake, buy biscuits, because nobody's got the time to make that stuff. You get my drift. That is how I do it. Now, like I said, I've already got a video on how I use this. It also involves post-it notes, which I have to confess I don't use anymore. But yeah, everything else I say in that video still applies. So if you're interested in looking at that, I'll stick the link in the description. And I am just going to set myself 3 new shiny goals for quarter 3. What are they going to be? That's a good question. I need notes because I've already forgotten. They're in the kitchen. I'm not going to the kitchen to get them because I have to go past the dog and he will want to come in, and he's an absolute tornado. So I will have to use the power of my memory. Oh boy. There was a YouTube one. It's coming back. Okay. There was a YouTube one for Beech Tree Handmade, and that was just to get it up and running with content on it. So there you go. Goal number 1. Goal number 2 was relevant to this channel. I think I have forgotten what that was. Oh, yes. I want to experiment with shorts. I've put it off because honestly, the idea of making them made me want to punch myself in the face a little bit. But last month in August, I experimented with posting an extra video at the end of the week, and I really enjoyed doing that, and I kind of miss it. But I find the fact that it is a whole video in its own right a bit of a block. So I'm wondering if perhaps shorts will be a bit of a more doable thing. Words are failing me, so I'm going to have to wrap up this video soon. Usually when I get to this point that I can't think of words, it's because I'm tired and I have to go. Thanks, brain. So yes, goal 2 is going to be to experiment with that. As you can tell from my face, I'm not convinced that I'm going to do it. We shall see. And then goal number 3 is, of course, Etsy. It is going to be to finish pivoting. So, and by pivoting, I mean the kits. Does that mean the project bags as well? I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that. No, you know what? Even if I just get one project bag up, I will take that as a win. So yes, finish the blimmin' pivot. And that means that in the shop, I must have at least one item of all of the things. So PDF, stitchy patterns, embroidery, stick and stitch patches, the kits, the finished hoops, and the project bags. Oh boy. Will I do them all? I don't know. I never do. But it's always good to have a plan, because if I don't have a plan, I don't know which direction to move into. And even if I don't hit my goals, at least I'm moving in the right direction. Life is going to life. I mean, God knows what the next 3 months have planned for us. It's just so much life is happening at the moment everywhere. Right, hopefully the next Coffee and Craft will be a bit more exciting. I'm going to be honest, I have been feeling very flat lately, hence this standing up, talking head, rambly video, and I do apologise. And hopefully when I see you next, I will have more of this done, and I don't know, I don't think I'll have this done to show you by the end of next month, but I'm creeping up to 10,000 subscribers, which blows my tiny mind. Because I just want to mark the occasion, because it's important to me and I'm sad. I've made this, and I'm gonna stitch it up, and I'm gonna put it on my wall, because who needs a YouTube what do they call them? Those button things, the silver and the gold and the whatever. Who needs those when you can have a stitchy thing? Yeah, I'm gonna have a stitchy thing. So do you, YouTube. All right, I will go now, and I will see you. What day is it? It's Monday. At the time that this goes up, it's Monday. When will I post again? Feels like a song. When will I post again? No, nobody needs to hear that. I'm going to go now. Bye bye.